Test, test, test. Test, test, test. Hello and welcome to this varsity football matchup. I'm Edison Columbia alongside Hill Butler, and we have a big matchup under the lights on Knowles Field here on this Friday night in November. St. Christopher's welcomes Collegiate for homecoming.
This is a really big game. Saints need the win here if they want to enter into the Prep League playoffs here. Sitting at 4-5, they can break even with this one. Collegiate, I believe, are 3-5, so they don't have a ton to play for. But definitely not just going to give up. These two teams always play each other close.
What they have to play for is spoiling their rival seasons, and they would be thrilled if they could go on to Knowles Field on senior night and knock the Saints out of the playoffs. In the recent poll, the Saints were tied with Norfolk Academy for 4th, but with a win, the Saints would get their spot as Norfolk is playing an 0-8 Catholic team. With a loss, the Saints likely would need Norfolk to also lose, and as we mentioned, their opponent, Catholic, 0-8 coming into their game. So,
yeah, not something you can count on happening there. Definitely not something you want to rely on.
The Saints need to take things into their own hands. They control their own destiny. And a win today, they'll be playing next Saturday. The Saints started the year 4-2, but they've lost 2 in a row and 3 of their last 4. Last week, a 24-6 loss to North Cross. Some issues with the chain gang, but ready to kick things off here. Collegiate won the toss, they deferred. Kicker has to tie his shoe.
Very loud student section here tonight. No surprise, big homecoming game, senior night, under the lights, Friday night. It's a perfect atmosphere for St. Chris.
And finally, we are ready to go on Knowles Field. St. Christopher's and Collegiate once again, and the Cougars will kick things off. A short kick, that's going to be out of bounds. A great start to the drive for the Saints. They'll take over on the 40.
Saints student section already starting to chant a little bit for their team.
They're going to retake the opening kickoff.
Don't see this happen often.
Surprise. So instead of taking the ball on the 40, the Saints choose to push the Cougars back 5 and have them retake the kick.
Must be very confident in this return team here for the Saints.
Yeah, I mean, the kicker only got that kick to about the 22, so not a bad bet for the Saints here. If you add on those extra 5 yards to be the 27, then you'd only need 13 on the return in order to gain off of that decision.
Yeah, and I bet what they're trying to do is just get a lot of momentum early, trying to decide the game before they have to get desperate and look for something big in the later parts of the game. But the exact same situation they found themselves in a lot this season.
This one fielded by Farley. He'll be dropped at the 37, so overall a net 3-yard loss for that decision. And we will see Chase Roberts and this offense come out. They've been struggling as of late, only scored 6 last week. Were shut out by Woodbury 3 weeks ago.
Telling me struggling a little bit. I believe over the last 4 games, only averaged a little over 6 points per game, whereas at the first 4 games, averaging over 22. So, going to try and have to return to form here for the Saints.
The big change for the Saints is they've gone away from that passing game against Norfolk Academy, their best offensive showing of the year. Jerron Johnson had 2 touchdowns. But since then, the Saints have struggled to move the ball through the air. And in their recent game against Woodbury, Johnson didn't have a target until the 4th quarter. As Michael Farley Jr. gets the first handoff of the game, he stood up after a short gain.
Yeah, only about a yard and a half there. Gonna put him on the 40.
So 2nd and 8 now from the 40-yard line. Roberts under center. Motions over Jaden Brown, and he'll get it off the end around. Jaden Brown cutting it to the right, and he's tripped up. We've seen the Saints go to that end around with number 5 a bunch this year. They've had some success with it, but not here. He only gains about a yard and a half, and it'll bring up a big 3rd down early in this game.
Saints now staring at 3rd and 7, trying to avoid a 3 and out on the first drive of the game. Would definitely not do great for the momentum, which has certainly played a big factor in a lot of these games they played.
Now, St. Christopher's rushing to the line. They're going to take a timeout. This has been an issue for them all season. And even in game number 10, the issue of getting to the line on time still here. They're going to have to burn a timeout only 100 seconds into the game.
Yeah, and you see, saw him take a lot of unnecessary delay of games all throughout the season, really, like you've been saying. So it's just something they're really going to have to clean up. We'll be back after a short break.
Welcome back. 3rd and 7 coming up here. Saints had to burn a timeout. 1:40 into the game. Jaden Brown in motion. They'll hand it off to Farley on a dive, breaking off 1 tackle, but he's not getting anywhere close.
And the Saints going to start this drive out Saints going to start this game 3 and out.
Some questionable play calling there, going with a halfback dive on 3rd and long.
Yeah, I understand that they're moving away from the pass game a little bit, but in that situation, I would definitely call a passing play, or at least just, an outside run maybe, but, a halfback dive, I don't know about that play call there.
So now Christian Rogers, very early on, will be on to punt. Snap is low, has to pick it up off the ground, but a booming punt will be fair caught at the 15. Great work from Rogers to flip the field. And now we will see Jack Callahan and his Cougar offense coming out.
Yeah, Christian Rogers has been a very consistent part of this team with his punting.
If there's one area of the field you know that every week the Saints are going to have the advantage in, it is in the punt game. Christian Rogers been lights out all year. Now, Cougar offensive lineman was slow to get out there. Collegiate will start their first drive of this game from the 15. Jack Callahan hands it off. Zay Davis bouncing it outside. Solid yardage on first down. Gains about 5. And out of bounds around the 20.
Yeah, just well-executed play right there, getting the blocking he needed. Couldn't get too far with it, but managed to get 4 out of it. Looking at 2nd and 6 now for this Cougars offense.
Now whistle's blowing. Someone signaling for a timeout. And everything has been sorted out. Now Callahan lined up in an empty backfield. Some motion near the line of scrimmage. They'll throw out a bubble screen. Zay Davis slipping tacklers. The ball's out. It's still loose, and it's recovered by Lance Cleland.
That's a beautiful play right there. Just punched it right out. Ball went flying out, and Lance Cleland did a great job of recovering that. And if one thing's been consistent with the Saints all year, it's their defense stopping plays and getting turnovers. That was beautifully executed by that defense.
Darius Gray had a touchdown in his hands. I don't know if you saw it, but when the ball popped out, it initially fell right in his chest. He wasn't expecting it and couldn't come down with it. If he had, Christian Rogers would be on for an extra point, and the Saints would be up 6-0.
Yeah, certainly just not expecting that to get right to him. That's just not something that happens in a game, an opportunity like that. But either way, the Saints will recover and take over at about 18-yard line of the Cougars.
A big chance for the Saints offense starting in the red zone. Roberts dropping back, nearly intercepted. Threw it right into the hands of Adam Solanke. And he has to be thanking his lucky stars that he's getting that football back.
Yeah, and looks like he was hit a little bit while he was trying to throw that pressure. Got to him, barely managed to get it off. And like you said, just a little to the right, that would have been an easy interception.
I don't even think that it needed to be to the right. I mean, it hit him right in the hands. He just got lucky that didn't come down with it.
It's going to be 2nd and 10 now for the Saints.
We'll pitch it out to the left. Michael Farley Jr. cutting it upfield. Gained about half of what he needed. It'll bring up a 3rd and 5. Keegan Hayes and Harrison Baxter in on that stop for the Cougars. And they'll say Farley only got about 3, so maybe a harsh spot. It'll be a 3rd and 7 upcoming. Roberts hands it off again. Farley following his blockers. He's going to be close to first down yardage. And he was short. He needed about an extra yard and a half. A big decision early for Coach Cleland. And for the moment, it looks like the Saints will leave their offense on the field.
Yeah, just going to trust your offense here. Just a short yard and a half here for the Saints to get this first down. And if not, the Cougars will not have good field position at all.
4th and 2. Farley up the middle. And I think he has it. And he does. 4th and 2 converted by Michael Farley Jr. And the Saints will have it inside the 5.
1st and goal at the 5-yard line. Saints really turned this around with that fumble recovery.
A prime scoring opportunity for the Saints that they cannot waste early in this game. 1st and goal from the 5. Roberts hands it off. Farley slipping tacklers. Michael Farley Jr. into the end zone. Touchdown, St. Christopher's. First blood drawn by the Saints. Their star running back into the end zone. And they'll take a 6-0 lead.
That's just good execution there by the Saints. Got the blockers, got in. That's a really simple play, but got to do that as well to win the game. Now it looks like Saints are going for 2. This looks like formation the Giants used.
And they'll snap it, throw it out to Nate Roberts, and he's in.
A lot better executed than the Giants managed. Just threw it right to him and had all those blockers to just get him in there before anyone could get past the lone center there.
A bold call, but works to perfection. So 8-0 St. Christopher's.
As the Giants could learn something from that.
Yeah, Giants can learn a lot.
They sure can.
It's been rough being a Giants fan these last,
Ooh,
really since 2016. So 8-0 St. Christopher's, as we'll take another look at the touchdown from Farley. Whenever we get the chance, we should definitely take another look at that 2-point conversion as well. It was a bold formation call. We've seen the Saints come out in that for a 2-point conversion on times in the past, but they haven't stayed in it. This is the first time they've actually ran it, and worked pretty well. So William Sutton on to kick it away. Did not hit that one well. Driven low, and
gonna call him down there.
Bit of a mental error there by Menelik Reed. If he had fielded that with his knee up, he would have had a good gain, but unfortunately for him, wasn't able to get the knee up in time, and he ruled down at the 25.
Cougars going to take over at about the 22-yard line, start this one off with an outside run.
Zay Davis fumbled on his last touch. Now he's fighting for a first. He's not going to get there, but a good gain on first. And play clock at zeros. The Cougars will be hit with 5 yards.
Cougars just taking avoidable penalty there with a delay of game. It was certainly a generous spot, by the way, to give them the first down, but now going to look at 1st and 15 after that penalty.
No motion. Callahan's pass is complete. And a horde of Saints in there for the stop. Short gain, it'll be about 4. Now flags come in after the play. Someone's getting hit with unsportsmanlike conduct.
That is something you might see every once in a while in big rivalry games like this.
Yeah, these teams certainly do not like each other. Especially for the Saints with their season essentially being on the line in this game. Emotions will be high. They need to work to control them.
Yeah, and then the Cougars probably just frustrated after a, last game of a not very great season. No hope of making the playoff at this point, so just general frustration there. Nope.
And they are going to get the Saints with a penalty. Unsportsmanlike conduct against St. Christopher's.
That's going to land the Cougars on their 45-yard line. So a lot of penalties to start off this drive.
Callahan, he'll hand it off up the middle, slipping through tacklers, and a short gain for Zay Davis. Now 2nd and 6, they'll hand it off up the middle again. This is going to be wrapped up. It is Elijah Brandon who got in there, not much for Davis.
And they're going to be looking at about 3rd and 4 now.
This drive is pretty big for the Cougars. The Saints have the momentum with the fumble and then getting into the end zone. If you're Collegiate, you cannot afford to let the Saints have a chance to go up 2 scores early in this game. And a big 3rd and 4 upcoming. Davis in motion. Callahan off the play fake, rolling out, incomplete. Was looking for Adam Solanke, but threw it over him. And it'll bring up a interesting 4th down decision. 4th and 4 from the 49. They need the 45.
I think in my position, if I was in this position, I would probably decide to punt it, as it is still very early.
And
a little over halfway through the 1st quarter.
Looks like Collegiate does not agree. No, they do. Wow. They pulled out a fake conversion. That's a beauty of a punt. They came out in a formation looking like they were going to go for it, but then Callahan pulled it down and kicked it, and it'll be down inside the 10. Very risky play, but works out perfectly for them.
Yeah, it's a quarterback punting in and went into, looked like on the 6-yard line of the Saints. It's very well executed.
So the Saints are going to have a long way to go if they want to get more points on the board. They'll start this drive, as you just mentioned, from the 6.
Yep, and I imagine it's probably true. This run-heavy offense, probably just a couple of run plays to start this off, give their quarterback some space to breathe.
Absolutely. The one thing you cannot have happen here is a safety. So we're likely going to see the ball on the ground a lot. Right now it's Addison Gosselin lined up in the backfield instead of Farley. They'll pitch it out. Gosselin cutting through tacklers and goes down after about 4 or 5. A solid 1st down gain to give him some more breathing room.
That's going to bring up 2nd and 5 for the Saints. Addison Gosselin, wonderful 2-way player playing running back. Very hard to bring down there, and also very powerful linebacker. He hits very hard.
Another one of those seniors that are being honored tonight. At the end of the 1st quarter, I'll read through all the names. So now a 2nd and 5. Roberts gives it again. Gosselin powering forward, has a 1st down.
Yeah, just showing off that power. I mean, it's just so hard to bring down. You'll see him just push through a couple of guys to get some extra yards out of plays that you just don't normally see go very far.
Yeah, the Saints are lucky. They have 2 very talented and 2 very different running backs in Gosselin and Michael Farley Jr. Gosselin more of a power back, Farley an elusive back. It's definitely very fortunate for them that they have 2 completely different profiles that they can go to and still expect great results. As this time, Roberts will keep it, and maybe not the best decision, only gains a yard. So in other Saints sports news, we have 2 other big results today. Cross country, state champions, or prep league champions, excuse me. And then soccer in their first playoff game beat Norfolk Academy 3-1. Goals by Lucas Gordonier, Evan Broughton, and Jack Bleacher. On Monday, they will travel up to Potomac to play in the quarterfinals. As run from Gosselin there, gains about 4.
Saints now going to look at about 3rd and 7 here. We'll see if Coach Klein wants to run it or pass it. He does seem comfortable running it on distances like 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, but at the same time, hasn't worked out a ton this game. So
Roberts rolling out, dropping back. Jerron Johnson tips it up in the air, and it's going to be dropped. Nearly intercepted. Harrison Baxter flying in on it.
Yeah, like they dived for it and just barely couldn't hold on. I thought he might have gotten that for a second, but hit the ground just before he managed to haul it in.
If you were wondering why Michael Farley Jr. was not present on that drive, currently has some ice on his shoulder. So that'll be something to monitor for the Saints. Obviously, he had that touchdown run. As Rogers, the punt is blocked, and Collegiate's going to bring it back for 6.
Looked like he just stuffed it out of the air there. That was a shock for the Saints. Just couldn't get it off in time. Collegiate flew in. Just took it right out of the air, and that is a very, very bad start for this. Very bad end result for the Saints, and that's just a shock.
That wasn't on Rogers. The blocking there did not hold up at all. People came in unblocked off the edge.
Now, Cougars going to go for a conversion of their own.
They'll look to level this game. No, they won't. Initially, it looked like they were, but they will just take an extra point. And that one is blocked again. Back-to-back special teams plays end up blocked.
It's blocked by Jaden Brown, the senior DB. That's two special teams really shining for both teams here. So now the Cougars going to kick it off with just over 2 minutes left in the first quarter. Saints cannot have another result like that.
The Cougars kick team slow to get on the field. Saints have been sitting here ready for about 15 seconds, and now the Cougars will finally come out. Not the most usual of scores, 8-6. Just under 10 minutes into this game. Michael Farley Jr. opened up the scoring with a touchdown with about 7 minutes left in the quarter. Then Nate Roberts on the 2-point conversion. But then just now, Collegiate blocks a punt, brings it back. And their extra point was blocked, though, so only 8-6. Oh, Harrison Baxter will kick it away. And it'll be fielded at about the 15 by Wally Jones, and gains about 15. Some contact once Jones is already out of bounds, but the refs keep the flags in their pockets.
You know, let them play real physical in this game, it looks like. Now, going to start this drive at about their 30-yard line. Much better field position than their last drive.
On first down, they'll hand it off. Addison Goslin breaking off tackles down the sideline, dragged down at the 45. A big play on the first play of the drive. Number 33, Addison Goslin.
Looks like he got about 20, 30 yards out of that. That's a huge play for the Saints, and just what they needed to start this drive. Collegiate now going to take their first time out.
We'll be back. Hello and welcome back. 1:47 left in this first quarter. Saints will snap it from the 45.
Coming off a very disappointing drive there. Had their their punt block just stuffed out of the air and ran back into the end zone. But this drive looking a lot better.
Now Addison Goslin's still going. He'll have a first. Now the Saints will snap it from just inside the 35. Goslin again, not much there this time.
A little contact there after the play, but nothing big enough to throw a flag.
So Aaron Atkins, former Saint, making that tackle, was here through lower school, transferred to collegiate and middle school.
Clock winding down.
And Roberts, play fake, had Jaden Brown wide open, but he missed him. Now a 3rd and 8 from the 31. Roberts, play fake, rolling out, looking for Jaden Brown, and it is incomplete.
Starting off this drive, and this game really pretty inaccurate with the passing game.
I also don't know if Roberts has had a chance to throw it with his feet set.
Yeah, been asked to roll out of the pocket there on both those attempts. Had to throw it on the run, which especially in the high school level, was really going to throw you off as a quarterback.
And here it looks like the Saints are going to leave the offense on the field. A 4th and 8 from the 31. A field goal from here would be 48. Likely too much to ask for Christian Rogers. So they'll try to convert. 4th and 8, Roberts dropping back, pressure coming, flips it out. Goslin has a first down. Addison Goslin up inside the 15. And the ball is out at the end of the play, but they're going to rule him down.
Yeah, it looks like he's rolling on the ground a little bit before he let that out, so I think it's a good call. And that's a position the Saints have found themselves in quite a bit this season. You know, have the offense about, 30, 40-yard line, 30, 35-yard line, 4th down, and can't really punt it because it's too close to the end zone. Can't get you a field goal either, way out of any high school kicker's range. They've just had kind of been forced to go for it, and a lot of times they haven't found success with that, but they did there.
And the play clock will expire. We will go to the second quarter, 8-6 St. Christopher's with the Saints threatening. During this first quarter break, I want to take our first chance of the game to thank all of these seniors being honored tonight on senior night. Deacon Begley, Jaden Brown, Isaac Lopika, Zach Davila, Wally Jones, Hank Dykeshorn, Gavin Johnson, Harrison Fuller, Addison Goslin, Carson Brown, Jack Seal, and Gilly Cardona, as well as Christian Rogers. But the Saints will take over on the start of the second from the 14. Pass incomplete to Nate Roberts.
Chase Roberts looking for his big man there. Couldn't get it on target. He struggled a little bit in this game with just accuracy.
So now 2nd and 10 from the 14. Roberts hands it off. Goslin powering forward, still going. Falls forward for about 6 or 7.
They're going to say got 4 yards out of that.
Now a 3rd and 6. Jaden Brown in motion, he'll get it. Cuts it to the left, Jaden Brown is in, but a flag down. For the moment, the Saints have 6 points.
Looked like it came towards the end of the play, right before Goslin got in the end zone. And that will be holding on the Saints. Push them back. And that's going to be 3rd and 11. What was a touchdown? That's a very costly penalty.
Very unnecessary penalty as well. Had they just let the play go, Jaden Brown would have been fine by himself to get in. Did not need the extra block. And the extra block ends up wiping off a touchdown.
And even if he did need that extra block, he still had the first down.
He would have been in, I think. But anyways, it'll be a 3rd and 11. Roberts, play fake, has time, flips it out towards Goslin, throws behind him. And Addison never stood a chance. He wanted a face mask, but he's not going to get it. And the Saints will likely bring on Christian Rod. Well, this is a long field goal from here. It'll be 37. It'll be William Sterling.
Yeah, this is not the NFL where kickers can get this at will. This is a decision in high school. And Chase Roberts going to put the snap down for Sterling.
From 37, William Sterling just barely gets it through.
That's going to make this game 11-6. Saints lead by 5.
He had just enough leg on it.
Yeah, William Sterling, the sophomore, playing up. Plays a little bit for JV, too, as a punter and kicker.
11-6. Not a very common score. Now William Sterling will kick it away. 11-6 Saints lead 2 minutes gone in the second quarter.
It looks like they're going to use William Sterling here as a kicker and Christian Rogers as a punter. You know, separate the workload here for the players. Christian Rogers was asked to do both for the majority of the season.
And now Sterling's kick will be fielded at around the 14. And Cougars have some room here, but a great tackle there. Eric Pendlebury wraps up.
Yeah, and Eric Pendlebury had a lot of fun with that.
Now from the 33, Jack Callahan in an empty backfield. Now Davis motions in. He gets it. Patient in the backfield, but doesn't get him much. Tried to wait for the play to develop, but it never did, and he only gains about 3.
Yeah, I didn't have the blocking there. Saints just got enough pressure through there to bring him down, and was looking for something, but just couldn't find it. Although that patience often does work out for running backs.
They'll hand it off again up the middle. Another solid gain of about 4 or 5.
That is going to bring up 3rd and 3 for the Cougars.
A big 3rd down early into the second quarter. 3rd and 3 from the 40 for Collegiate. Callahan, play fake, incomplete. And Jaden Brown has the football, but they're gonna say it hit the ground. A dangerous pass looking for Ben Height.
Yeah, just a little off target. If it was a little closer, it would have been easy to haul in. Height kind of had to reach out for that though, and just couldn't reach in with that one hand and get it. Jaden Brown dove in there. Almost got the interception, but it hit the ground before it got in his hands.
I don't think it was ever going to be a first down. I think Brown would have stopped Height before reaching the marker. But once again, we'll see the Cougars bring the offense out on 4th down. It's 4th and 4. They're on the 40. They need the 44. Callahan. And whistles blow. Timeout by St. Christopher's.
That is their second of this half. And we will be back after a short break.
Welcome back. A big 4th down incoming for the Cougars. 8:48 to go in the second quarter. They'll punt it away now. It's the second time this game we've seen them come out in a formation to go for it, but then end up punting it away, and this is going to be a beauty. It's a 50-yarder down at the 20.
I'd imagine, because it is a quarterback as a punter, so I'd imagine maybe he's more comfortable in that formation there to punt it away. It also kind of opens up for some, potential to fake it maybe when you have the punter who can throw.
So it'll be interesting to see if they ever try that out. Saints starting this drive out from the 20.
And the first play, they'll hand it off. Goslin, and breaking through 2 tackles, making a 3rd and a 4th. Addison Goslin fights hard to earn a first down there.
And that's just one of his plays that really should have ended before he got back to the line of scrimmage. But this man just, I think, his little cut back, broke through that tackle, got through a couple other guys, just powered forward. And he got about 11 yards out of that one.
And he'll get it again, this time up the middle, still fighting forward, gets about 3.
Addison Goslin had a huge day. After the first quarter, he had 53 rushing yards on just 6 attempts, including a 26-yard rush, putting him at 8.8 yards per carry. Meanwhile, passing game struggling a little bit. I believe Roberts is now 2 for 6.
Roberts, this time he hands it off Walker. Turley, some fresh legs in the game. Turley gains a few. And they give him a first.
Might be a generous spot if you ask me.
Looked up to 2 yards short, but Saints definitely not complaining.
Walker Turley still lined up in the backfield.
And he'll get it again, but this time not going anywhere.
Walker Turley, just like Addison Goslin, plays linebacker and running back. Turley is a junior captain on the team, and he has had a number of forced fumbles and fumble recoveries this season. Also a very talented wrestler.
So 2nd and 10. Goslin gets it, cutting it outside. Addison Goslin gains about 5, but it's just probably coming back. A flag down near the line of scrimmage and probably a hold. And that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, just another unnecessary holding call. That looked like it came from all the way behind the line of scrimmage after Goslin has got about 5 yards out of it. So, I mean, just another unnecessary holding call that really just can't be repeating those mistakes.
Roberts dropping back, going long, incomplete.
Just a little high, intended for J.J. Tidwell, a sophomore wide receiver. Just a little lower, and then would have hit him right in the chest, but unfortunately had to reach up for it and just couldn't haul it in.
So a 3rd and very long, a promising drive, potentially erased by the hold. But they'll be staring at a 3rd and 20 on the 32, needing the 48. Roberts steps up, buying time, gonna scramble up the middle, and solid gain, but not anything close to what he needed.
Yeah, and that's a must have really just not seen anything there if he's scrambling on 3rd and 20. I mean, it's just kind of seems like an act of desperation. And the Saints now bringing on the punting unit on 4th and 15.
It was the right call by Roberts. If you don't see anything downfield, no reason to force it.
Absolutely.
Definitely don't want to give the ball away.
Absolutely. I mean, having a chance to punt it is far better than throwing an interception. And when you try and force it into double, triple coverage, whatever, that's exactly what will happen.
And Rogers able to get this one away. And it'll be out at around the 35. (11-6). 5:07 to go in the second quarter. So I badly misread that punt. I thought it went out around maybe the 37. They're going to say it went out at the 50. So great starting field position for the Cougars as Callahan drops back, delivers a dart over the middle, but incomplete. Good coverage there from Elijah Sari and Elijah Brandon.
Yeah, just right on him there. Had the ball in his hands, but managed to tackle him and knock him out. Knock the ball out before he could get anywhere with it.
Yeah, not a great read there by Callahan. Threw it into double coverage. Someone called that throw a hospital ball, as the receiver ended up sandwiched in between two defenders. So now a 2nd and 10 from the 50. Play fake. Callahan buying time, and he'll be blown up after about a gain of 1. Manages to power forward. It was Elijah Brandon in there first.
Now it's going to bring up 3rd and 8 for the Cougars. Had a couple guys just waiting for him right there. Saw he was taking off and ran right back up to him and stuffed him before he could get too far with it.
Now a 3rd and 8. 4:25 to go in the first half. Callahan, empty backfield, looking complete but short of the sticks.
It's a gain of about, looks like 4 or 5 yards. I believe it's going to bring up 3rd and 3.
4th and 3.
4th and 3. So, excuse me.
Yeah. They needed 8, got 5. Ooh, and they're going to give him a harsh spot. They're going to give him about 4, or 3 or 4.
Yeah, going to bring up 4th and 4.
The Cougars look like they're going for it, but as we've seen twice before this game, sometimes they'll come out in a formation to go for it and then end up having Callahan pull it down and punt it. We'll see what they do here. They'll actually run a play this time. Callahan over the middle, intercepted! Elijah Brandon cut the route, and he has room. Elijah Brandon still going inside the 20, dragged out inside the 10. A massive play for the Saints defense on 4th down. Elijah Brandon with the interception and a 50-yard return, and the offense will take over inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah, the quarterback here looked like he was going for the guy behind him. All Elijah Brandon had to do was just reach up, as you can see from the replay. Drops back, throws it down. He's just waiting right there. Quick instincts, just reach up. And that's a beautiful return, too. It breaks this tackle and just manages to keep going. He's a couple extra yards after the second guy makes contact with him, too. It's a beautiful interception and a beautiful return.
I don't know what Callahan saw there. That was definitely an ill-advised throw.
Yeah, it's got to be a little more aware of where the defenders are, honestly. I mean, you can't get tunnel vision like I assume he just did.
As now Roberts, pass complete out to Jaden Brown, gains about 3. But back to the interception. I get that it's 4th down, but definitely cannot force a pass over the middle in a fashion like that. He threw it right to Brandon, And there wasn't a receiver in the area.
Yeah, I mean, it's better than to just force the ball into the ground than just throw something like that, because, I mean, as you saw, that return was really great and gave him much better field position than if you just turned it over on downs.
So now 2nd and goal from the 7. Handed off up the middle. Lance Cleland still fighting, and Collegiate trying to punch the ball out. The refs take a very long time to blow it dead.
Wait till he's on the ground there. I don't think they did blow it dead before he got down.
Yeah, they probably should have blown it earlier. It was clear Cleland was going nowhere. So 3rd and 6 from the 6. Saints needing the end zone. Roberts, play fake, rolling out, looking, end zone, caught at the 2. Ron Johnson with the reception, but he's not going to have the touchdown.
Really got down to the 1-yard line to me. That was very close.
If you're Coach Cleland, do you leave the offense on the field?
In this position, I can see it going either way, but I might try for a field goal, be a little more conservative with it. Honestly, put your team up 8 points, full possession. And, I mean, as you can see, those last 2 plays didn't have a very long distance to go, just couldn't get there. So I think in this position, I might kick a field goal.
Initially, it looked like he did not agree with you, but now the Saints will take a timeout. Minute 45 to go. It'll be the 3rd and final timeout for the Saints.
Yeah, I said it earlier, probably want to kick a field goal, but can't occur to me 8 points is not, in fact, a 2-possession lead, so I would actually probably go for this. Probably run it with Addison Goslin, which Piers Lance Collin would agree.
And now whistles and a timeout by the Cougars.
Yeah, I think out of this timeout, the Saints probably just want to run it up the middle with Goslin. He's a great power back. Just been getting 2 yards at will this entire game, so I mean, even if you don't get this, you turn it over on downs at, what, the 2-yard line?
That's definitely something important. Chances are Goslin will at least get the ball back to the line of scrimmage. So in that case, Collegiate would be all the way backed up into their own end zone. And if they were to lose yards on their first play of the drive, they could be looking at a safety. So out of the timeout, the Saints will stick with their original decision. The offense will come out for a 4th and goal from the 2.
And that's Addison Goslin there, going to line up in the backfield.
The Saints line up Nate Roberts and Lance Cleland on that left side. 4th and goal from the 2. Goslin into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints.
Just walks right in there.
The decision to go for it on 4th down proves the right one, and the Saints extend their lead to 11 points.
Interesting to see it, the Saints go for 2 again, as they did go for 2 after their first touchdown, using that same formation the Giants used, just little more better executed as he did have blockers, but right now it looks like he will kick an extra point, get 18 on the board if this goes in.
William Sterling hit a field goal from 37 earlier. This kick from 19 on the extra point. It is up and good. So the Saints extend their lead to 18-6.
That was a beautifully kicked extra point by William Sterling. See, pretty simple play design here. Cougars really loaded the line there as he should, but the Saints just did a better job at blocking than they did get through the blocks. So, setting yourself up for success with that play. Simple but effective.
So the Saints extend their lead to 2 touchdowns, minus the 2 extra points. So they'll kick it away now from the 40. And Sterling will hit this one pretty well to be fielded at the 10. And good tackling there. Walker Turley gets in there, and only about a 12-yard return. There were some antics going on at the end of the play. Finn Dooley going at Deacon Begley. So the Cougars will start this drive at the 22. Callahan buying time, had the screen open, decided not to take it. He'll scramble for about 2. Maybe not the best decision there, as Zay Davis had a lot of room if Callahan decided to throw it out there.
Yeah, didn't get much out of that. Just defense snubbed that out pretty quickly. Realized he was taking off.
Callahan dropping back. Screen deflected down. Gavin Johnson.
Just a beautiful job of just extending his arm out there. Not a particularly well-thrown ball either, as there's clear opportunity to do that, and Saints just do a good job of taking advantage of that.
Now a 3rd and 8. We'll see what Collegiate does here. The Saints can't stop the clock again. So if they were to run the ball, they could run it down to 22 seconds, and that's what they'll do. Zay Davis, but he's wrapped up by Goslin. Clock under a minute. Collegiate doesn't have to snap it again until the 16-second mark. On a 4th and 4 from inside their own 30. No reason for them to get aggressive. I'm surprised the Saints aren't putting a man back to receive the punt.
Yeah, if I'm Collegiate, I'm honestly just waiting until the last ball goes second and then just punting this away, because you're leaving 16 seconds, and unless it's another special teams touchdown, I don't see the Saints scoring with that amount of time, and that is a clear false start.
This is a big call. And it's going to end in a Collegiate first down. It was against the Saints.
Yeah, it was pretty blatant. He clearly thought the play had started, kind of pushed his guy a little bit. So I mean, when it's that obvious, just definitely just not going to get away with it.
So now the Cougars get a first down. They'll snap it from the 33. 25 seconds to go. Callahan looking long. Pass complete. Deacon Begley gets back up. He's going to force him out around the 10. A big reception from Zach Jarvis.
It's Great ball, great reception, great job of getting past the corner. Cougars have much better field position now, and they have 16.5 seconds to score from about their own 15-yard line.
It wasn't bad coverage from Begley, just incredible concentration from Jarvis to haul it in. And Collegiate will take a timeout, 9.5 to go. An interesting decision coming up. If they were to be tackled in bounds, the half is over, as they likely wouldn't be able to get up and run another play within 10 seconds. But a field goal doesn't make it a one-possession game, so do they shoot for the end zone, or do they just play it safe, take their 3, then receive the second half kickoff?
If I'm calling Collegiate's play here, I think either look to the end zone. I'd say first bet is looking to the end zone, as you don't have a lot of time. And, I mean, if you throw an incompletion, you at least stop the clock. Or if you really don't see anything in the end zone, maybe just a quick out route, get the guy out of bounds and stop the clock. Because right now, if they don't stop the clock and don't get in the end zone, this half is over and they do not score here.
A bold decision from the Cougars. They'll snap it from the 17. 9.5 to go. No timeouts remaining. Callahan looking, and incomplete off the hands. I believe it was Tyler Lewis.
That is going to play took about 3 seconds. 5.5 seconds left on the game clock here.
They will run another play. Maybe they can get another one off and then kick a field goal, but they're getting dangerous. Callahan dropped, looking end zone, and incomplete. Elijah Asari nearly had the pick. It'll be down to 0.9 on the clock.
Now at this point, I'm definitely kicking a field goal. I mean, it's just a lot more reliable than getting the touchdown, especially after those 2 last attempts. Didn't really go anywhere. 3rd and 10, less than a second left. So this one, I think I'm kicking a field goal if I'm Collegiate. Not trying to go for the home run here, because you still have a whole half to make up that deficit.
It'll be Harrison Baxter. He'll take this field goal from 33. Baxter's kick nearly blocked, but it's no good. Collegiate gets to the ball on the 15 after the penalty, but comes up empty. And the Saints will go to the half with a 12-point lead. 18-6 going to the break. We'll be back in 15.
The GOAT. Tom Brady.
Yeah, Kellen Welch.
Tom Brady.
Joey's Chestnut.
I want Iguodala.
Tiger. LeBron James.
The Stephen Bishara. Mr. Wood, Princeton Lacrosse.
LeBron James.
Michael Jordan. Tiger.
John Jones. Michael Phelps.
Paul Rabel.
Ray Lewis.
Muhammad Ali.
It's Joey Chestnut.
Curry. Tiger Woods.
LeBron.
I gotta go with Lionel Messi.
Drake May.
Me.
Hello and welcome back. The second half just about ready to get underway. St. Christopher's went into the break leading Collegiate 18-6. The Cougars had a big chance at the end of the half. They had the ball at the 15 with about 20 seconds left and one timeout. But after 3 incompletions and a missed field goal, they came away empty-handed. They will receive the second half kickoff. And the Cougar offense, which has stalled, their only points coming off of a blocked punt return for a touchdown, badly needs to get going. William Sterling on to kick it away. Pooch kick will be fielded by Menelik Reed around the 25. And
doesn't get very far with that one.
The ball is out. The Saints have it.
No whistle is blown. Did not rule him down by contact, at least for now they haven't. They will rule him down. And the Saints will knock at the ball. It will be a first down Cougars. They're on about 32-yard line.
Sure, Coach Cleland is not thrilled about that. The ball certainly came out before a whistle was blown.
Yeah, Saints are doing a good job all year of getting turnovers off of fumbles. Unfortunately, just missed that one, at least according to the refs.
Callahan, play fake, rolling right. Callahan has a completion, Ben Height, and he's going to have a first.
Had a tough time bringing him down there. They caught it about 3 yards short, managed to power through and gonna get first down plus maybe 1, but there is a flag.
For the moment, he has a first down. This has a very solid chance of coming back. Whenever the flag thrown near the line of scrimmage, you always have a guess at what it is. Well, I was implying holding. It's going to be an ineligible man downfield. One of the Cougar linemen couldn't keep within a yard of the line of scrimmage.
It's not something you see a lot in the high school level.
Yeah, usually something that happens on an RPO or a screen pass. Pretty rare to see it on just a normal passing set.
Yeah, and the Cougars now going to be looking at 1st and 15 after what was the first down.
Both passing offenses struggled. The two teams only combined for 7 for 20 as this one launched long, make it 7 for 21.
Yeah, it's way overthrown there.
Jarvis had a big reception against Deacon Begley in the first half, but couldn't haul that one in. After that incompletion, the two quarterbacks, Jack Callahan and Chase Roberts, are combined 7 for 21, 77 yards and an interception. So now a 2nd and 15. Callahan, pressure coming, gets it off, pass complete out near the right sideline, and this is going to be a first down for Collegiate. Darius Gray, the one who made that tackle. I don't know how he got all the way from the defensive line out there, but
yeah, getting a lot of weight. Shouldn't be able to move that fast, but he's a freak athlete.
Jack Callahan, the U of R commit. His 5th completion of the night in 13 tries. Now up to about 68 yards or so as that run up the middle, nothing going.
So stuffed by number 6, Elijah Brandon. They'll call that a gain of 1. Could be looking at 2nd and 9 now.
Callahan dropping back, has time, looking down the right sideline, incomplete.
Yeah,
beautiful coverage from Elijah, sorry.
That deep throw is certainly a lot better than the last one, which is way overthrown. Not perfect, though, but also some great coverage.
Now another third down for the Cougars. This one will be a 3rd and 9. They're going to snap it from the 43. They need the other 47.
Cougars are currently 0 for 4 on 3rd down conversions.
Callahan in an empty backfield, rolling under pressure, incomplete.
Make that
overshot Zay Davis. And they're going to throw a flag in the backfield. I didn't see what happened. I think almost everyone's eyes were downfield except for the official who saw the infraction. Based on where the flag was thrown, I'm going to guess it was roughing the passer.
Looks like that's what it will be.
Maybe we could get another look at that. I didn't see anything. So the Cougars are bailed out of a 3rd and long by the Saints. Callahan, play fake, rolling out of space, and he's going to be out in the backfield. The Saints clapping. They seem to think this is against Collegiate. If this is a hold, it brings up an interesting decision for the Saints. Callahan lost 2 or 3. We'll see if they accept it. It would be a 2nd and 13 compared to about a 2nd and 20. And they will accept it. So the Cougars will be looking at a 1st and 20. Pushed back onto their own side of the field. They'll snap it from the 48. Callahan, pressure coming in, gets the screen off. Zay Davis, he has some room, but good work from Turley, although Davis stays up. It looked like Turley had him going down, and then I believe that was Elijah Brandon got in there. And then the momentum of that collision knocked Davis back onto his feet. And
it's a great run by Zay Davis.
So now back to where they started. 2nd and 10 from the 42. Play clock down to 5. They just barely get it off. Davis trying to follow his blockers. Gains about 4, but a flag down.
Another one.
Just thrown in the backfield. Lance Cleland clapping, and he was right to be clapping. It'll be a hold against the Cougars once again.
Cougars are going to have 2nd and 20.
They were looking at a 1st and 20, gained 10 yards, and then picked up another holding call. So they'll be right back to 20 yards away, this time on 2nd down. Callahan looking right. His receiver has a step, but Callahan threw it like he had about 3 steps on him.
He had about 4 attempts now on go routes. Only managed to hit 1 of them, which did not result in any points.
Looking for Brandon Anderson there. And now the Cougars will have a 3rd and a mile. A big down early in the quarter for the Saints defense. Cougars need a mile. Callahan looking for time, runs out of it. He's dropped by Darius Gray. Once again, number 74 getting in there and disrupting plays. First time we've called out his name for a sack tonight.
That is a massive loss thanks to Darius Gray. He just got right in there, wrapped him up, put him down. And that's just I mean, it's just beautiful football by Darius Gray right there.
His primary.
Take another look at this.
And they'll punt it away. And a great one from Callahan. This will roll to the 15. I don't know why the Saints haven't adjusted and started putting someone back for the punt return. That's the 4th time this game now that Collegiate came out in a formation looking like the run a normal offensive play, came out and punted it, and all 4 times it's resulted in an incredible gain of yardage for the Cougars, all because the Saints don't have anyone back to return it, so it just rolls.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, just giving up field position there. I guess the logic is, you know, if you only got 10 guys returning, you're risking Collegiate converting. But
to be fair, if they wanted to go for it on a 4th and 35, I'm sure the Saints would have welcomed that.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see Michael Farley Jr.
It was Aiden White, actually.
Is commenting that Michael Farley Jr. no longer in the game. Looks like he got out with some sort of shoulder injury, no longer suited up. So can use some of their other backs. Addison Gosling not lined up back there either, so going to Aiden White for this one. It's going to be 2nd and 10.
Roberts hands it off again. White this time as a hole. Aiden White still going. Gains about 8. And the Saints will be looking at a 3rd and short as some antics going on near midfield. It looked like it was Charlie Parker and Jake Slater getting into it as Parker pushed his block about 30 yards upfield. We'll see who gets penalized. I don't think this, unless there was something said, I don't think this should be a penalty. The whistles came in late, and pretty soon after the whistles were blown, Parker let off his block.
Yeah, it's he pushed him way farther than what was probably necessary. Yeah, it's going to be on the Saints.
Saints fans not happy at all with that call, and they definitely have a case to be upset.
Booing Meyer and them at Chapel Talk.
Well, the parents weren't here for that talk. Most of the booing is coming from the parent section. Now, chance of you can't do that coming from the Cougars. Quickly countered by chance of scoreboard from the Saints student section.
Classic. And Saints now looking at a nasty 3rd and 14, it looks like.
So 3rd and 14, Roberts, play fake, buying time, and he's going to take a safety.
Yeah, I mean, you just can't make that mistake. Just he had plenty of time to get rid of it. Just chuck it into the ground at least. But that is an unnecessary safety to take. That is, I mean, you gotta have that awareness to chuck it away or something. You just can't hold on to it that long in that position, and that is just not at all something you can let happen.
Takes a 13-yard sack. 2 very avoidable points handed to Collegiate.
Yeah, that is just bad decision making, if you ask me.
Something that opens up for the Cougars now is they have the option to take a field goal and stay in the game. Beforehand, down 12, a field goal and a touchdown doesn't get you back even, but now only down 10. It's just a field goal, a touchdown, and an extra point, and this game is tied. Very poor decision making by the Saints, and it's going to cost them.
Yeah, and I mean, that's just such a can be such a momentum killer. I think Saints are really going to have to try and get their momentum back. Coach Clem not looking happy on the sideline for good reason.
So Sterling will kick it away from the 20 after the safety. And hits this one pretty well. It'll be fielded at around the 34. And we'll see what the Cougars can come up with on the return. They have good room. And Milton Arundel up to the 48. Now some scuffling out near the fleur-de-lis at midfield. A reaction from both sidelines, both fan bases, but none from the referees.
Yeah, temper's trying to flare a little bit. It's getting a little frustrating for both teams at this point.
So now the Cougars handed a chance to get back into this game by the safety, only trailing by a touchdown, an extra point, and a field goal. They'll start their drive from the 47 as Callahan hands it off. Zay Davis bowling forward, gains about 5. More late antics. And this might be a third unsportsmanlike conduct against the Saints. It looks like a Cougar was thrown down after the play.
Yeah, you can't let your temper take control of you like that. Just so many mistakes coming in from the Saints. First that safety, and now they're taking these penalties. And it's just, any momentum they're going to come up with, they're killing right now. But they are going to put that on the Cougars. Ooh. I thought that would probably be on the Saints from what I saw, but I didn't see the entire situation unfold, so looks like the Cougars are going to take this one.
So what would have been pretty good yardage turns into a loss. 2nd and 4 turns into 1st and 14. And now more whistles coming in. It is a timeout by... No, it's encroachment against the Saints.
It's just... ball's only moving because of penalties at this point.
The Saints have handed Collegiate a lot of opportunities.
Well, what is 1st and 15? Now 1st and 9.
And they'll give it to Zay Davis again. Patient running, cuts it right, gains 4. Callahan gives it to Davis again. This time, not much there. Forced backwards.
I'm going to call this. Looks like they're going to give him about 1 yard. Looking at 3rd and 4 now. And Collegiate, I believe, 1 for 5 on 3rd down conversions. They've struggled so far in these situations. I believe 2 for 6 if you include the penalty that converted them.
4:05 to go in the 3rd. Cougars needing 4. Direct snap to Davis. Zay Davis cuts it right. Some contact in the backfield. Davis stays up. He's not going to have enough.
Just short. It looks like it will be probably 4th and 1. Maybe a 4th and a long one.
Colin Johnson, the first one, who tripped him up in the backfield, and then it looked like Elijah Brandon and Walker Turley were the ones who dragged him down. We'll see what the Cougars do here. As we mentioned, they've came out in formations where it looked like they would go for it, but then punted it. This one with no receivers out on the left side definitely looks like they will try to convert.
Yeah, if I'm saying Chris, I honestly probably wouldn't put a man back down to receive in this situation.
So 4th and 2, direct snap, and this will be close. Elijah Brandon wraps him up, and he is short. The Saints defense comes up with the 4th down stand, and the Cougars will give it back.
Beautiful job to stop him there from the Saints. Just got through the blocks and just put him down on the ground before he could get there. I believe he's probably about half a yard short there. Just stopped him in time.
The Cougars now 0 for 2 on 4th down. That one obviously much less harmful than the interception by Elijah Brandon that was returned for 50 yards. But the Cougar offense just hasn't been able to get anything going. Their only points of the game have came from special teams in the defense. So now, the Saints didn't get their substitutions right.
So Walker Turley coming on.
Surprised we haven't seen Goslin in the backfield in the second half.
Yeah, he had 74 yards on just 10 carries, averaging 7.4 yards per carry just the first half, which is obviously a massive stat. So it is surprising to see him not being used as much.
Now there's Farley. Gets slammed down by Farron Salab. And now some more antics. Darius Gray gets into it with a Cougar defender, but I don't think that was anything other than Darius proving why he's one of the top offensive line recruits in the class of 26.
Oh yeah, if I'm on the Cougars, if I'm trying to start something with anyone on this team, it's not going to be Darius.
Yeah.
Not the guy you want to talk trash to.
Definitely not. So now 2nd and 6. Roberts this time will drop back, looking for the out route, and didn't get enough on it. Jaden Brown never had a chance.
Yeah, just in the dirt at his feet. Just inaccuracy. He struggled with his accuracy so far. He's, I believe, 4 for 10 now.
So now just 2 plays after getting it back off 4th down. The Saints staring at a 3rd down. From the 42, they need 7.
Play clock winding down.
They just barely get it off. Roberts design QB run. He'll have a 1st and more. Chase Roberts. And some more fighting going on at the end of the play. Roberts started to get back up, and now these 2 teams are going to go at it. Punches being thrown. And I think someone's getting ejected. I mean,
that was a clear late hit. Roberts went down as he was getting back up. Someone just flew right into him, and then the teams got into it. I think that needs to be an ejection.
I believe it was number 20 for Collegiate you saw getting in there throwing punches. He likely could be looking at an early exit as well. The refs will confer at midfield. Luckily, it looks like everyone is okay. This is a big decision here. Depending on who ends up getting thrown out of this game, could certainly swing things.
The ref's now going to confer with the coaches. Oh. it's going to be offsetting penalties, and they'll spot him where he was down. Very controversial decision, to say the least. There was definitely some initiative there by the Cougars.
Yeah. I mean, that whole scuffle doesn't happen if someone doesn't pile drive Roberts as soon as he was trying to get up. But
yeah, it's a very dirty play.
We also couldn't see what happened in the huddle, so maybe there was something we don't know about. And now Addison Gosselin getting his first touch of the half, and he still up. He rolled onto the back of a Cougar and gained an extra 5 out of that. Let's get another look at that. Some incredible balance from Gosselin. Now a chance of weight room come in from the Saints student section.
Yeah, but Addison Gosselin, definitely someone who frequents the weight room.
Most definitely. I believe he has some records. As Gosselin gets it again, flags fly. He was in the direction of where Lance Cleland was engaged with his block. Let's get another look at that run from Gosselin. You see, he takes it up the middle, breaking through tacklers, then is hit low, stays on his feet, rolls onto the back of a Cougar defender, and ends up getting an extra 5 yards. And unfortunately, the second run of this drive from Gosselin not going to turn out as favorable for the Saints. Not a bad gain, but was assisted by a hold. The refs caught it, and they're going to be going back about 10 yards. And
more flags.
The Cougars will hand the Saints a free 5 back.
Not much movement on the ball besides just penalties at this point.
Now Cleland in motion. They'll give it Gosselin. Not much, but about 4.
And under a minute to go left in this half. I'd imagine the Saints just pretty intent on just run the clock out, up 10. Sorry, quarter, not half.
They have to snap it one more time. If they decide to run down the play clock, they would snap it with about 14. With time not in the Cougars' favor, they need stops. They will run one more play. Gosselin somehow still on his feet. I don't know how that was not a loss. He got hit like 2 or 3 times in the backfield, but very hard to bring him down, as he's demonstrated numerous times today. And that'll bring it to the end of the third. 18-8 Saints. They look for more points that could potentially put this game out of reach. We'll be back in a few. Welcome back. Fourth quarter, ready to go. The Saints will snap it from the 30.
Look at that, 3rd and 7 here for the Saints. 3rd and 8, sorry.
They are in an interesting position, definitely too far for a field goal, but they wouldn't punt it from inside the 35, so maybe they just play it conservative, try to run the ball, gain 4 or 5 yards before maybe going for it on 4th down.
Yeah, it's a position they found themselves a lot in this season, in 3 or 4 times in the game against Woodbury, already once this game. So it's just something they kind of, I mean, if they make it to the playoffs, can't find themselves in this position.
They will drop back. They will go deep. And incomplete. For a second, it looked like Ron Johnson had it. Flags flew during the play. Looked like pass interference.
Looked like that. Looked like he caught it, too.
Would have been a miraculous catch.
We'll see what the officials say on this one.
And the penalty went against the Saints. Ineligible man downfield. The Cougars will decline. So it brings up a 4th and 8 from the 33. A field goal from here would be 50. A punt, unless it was dotted down inside the 5, likely only gains you 13 yards. So the Saints will leave the offense on the field as they look to put together a drive that could kill the Cougars' spirits. 4th and 8. Roberts dropping back, screen to Gosselin, and Addison Gosselin has a 1st down. A big hit at the end of the play, but he's not going to care. He has the yardage he needed to move the chains.
I believe that's the 2nd time they've gotten out of a no man's land situation with a screen pass to Addison Gosselin. Very similar results there.
Who would have thought giving the ball to Addison Gosselin is going to turn into good things?
Yeah, like we said earlier, just at halftime, he had 74 yards. Now, after at the end of the 3rd quarter, he had 90 rushing yards on 12 carries and 17 yards after 1 reception.
And here he is again. Not much this time.
And another flag flies.
And Saint down at the end of the play. It's Walter Henry Cart.
Luckily, he can get up and walk off by himself. Appears to be okay.
And that's going to be against the Cougars. To the refs. It's going to be a personal foul. It'll be offsetting.
Again.
I don't think the Cougars have been hit with a personal foul that hasn't been offset. The Saints have been hit with 3 or 4 that have ended up pushing them back.
It's a very, very messy game.
So 2nd and 7. From the 14, they need the 7. Gosselin gets it, slips a tackler. Addison Gosselin still going. He's still on his feet, being shoved forward. He just does not go down. I don't think he has the first, but he's close. Helmets were flying during the play. Ooh.
They're going to say he's up to the 10-yard line, going to be about 3rd and 3.
Yeah.
3rd and a long 3.
I think they ruled him down before that final shove, because after that last bit of contact where he got pushed forward by a Cougar defender, it looked like he got up to about the 6 or 7, which would have put him, if not at a first down, at least very close. So now a 3rd and 3 from the 10, needing the 7. Flags fly. And the Saints are going to take a delay of game.
At this point, I think half the ball movement is just because of penalties.
The Saints had 3 timeouts to use, but chose not to use them. So a 3rd and 3 turns into a 3rd and 8. From the 15, they need the 7. Roberts, play fake, looking, end zone, touchdown! Jaden Brown on senior night has his touchdown, and the Saints push their lead to 2 possessions and can make it 3 with the extra point.
That is a beautifully thrown ball, beautiful catch. That was, I mean, Chase Roberts put it right where it needs to be for a touchdown, but we have a man down on the field. Saints up 24-8.
So Brown's touchdown waved off. The Saints had an ineligible man downfield. 7 points here would put him up 17, which is a 3-possession game. Play fake, Roberts under pressure, buying time, looks, end zone! This time Brown has it. No flags now, touchdown Saints. Had one waved off 10 seconds ago. This one counts.
Nice. Wide open in the end zone, and Chase Roberts played that beautifully, managed to avoid the pressure. As soon as he was safe to do it, he got that off to his man. He knew it was wide open.
I think that's
just beautiful.
That's the best quarterbacking we've seen from Chase Roberts all year. Incredible job to evade pressure and threw a beautiful ball to Jaden Brown in the end zone.
And the awareness there, too, to know just when he needed to throw it to avoid that sack, avoid getting strip sacked, is really great.
So a big extra point for Sterling. This would make it a 3-possession game,
Right
and
down
it's
the middle.
good. The difference between 16 points and 17 points is huge. The Cougars Now need to get on the scoreboard 3 times.
They've only got about 10 minutes left in this game to do that.
We'll take another look at this touchdown. Beautiful work from Roberts to avoid the incoming edge rushers and throws a beautiful ball down the sideline. Jaden Brown had one waved off right before, not that one. So now William Sterling on to kick it away. And this one will be fielded at around the 15. And great work from the Saints coverage team. Walker Turley lays the hammer at the 20. Only a 5-yard return. Certainly not how the Cougars wanted to start off a big drive.
Yeah, it's just beautiful tackling right there. Not much you can do about that as a returner.
So Collegiate starts this drive at the 20, needing points badly, under 10 minutes to go, down 3 scores. Callahan looking long, incomplete. Good coverage by Asari.
Another go route overthrown. Had that great one at the end of the first half. After that, he's just not been able to get much on those kind of plays. Mostly just overthrown his receivers. Now looking at 2nd and 10.
Callahan once again, pocket collapses. Callahan on the run, incomplete. Once again, great coverage by Asari. Not the best of decisions from Callahan as the receiver was blanketed, but looking for anything.
Yeah, at this point, just really got to take what you can get.
And a bad situation getting worse for the Cougars. It's going to be a hold. But 2 holds. Only one of them counts. So now the Saints accept the penalty. Collegiate pushed back 10, 2nd and 20 from the 11. Callahan in an empty backfield. Pressure coming in. Callahan escaping. And another flag down. A big hit from Elijah Brandon.
But another flag on the play.
This is another hold. The Cougars would be pushed back to their own 5. And that's what it is. When you're already down a lot of points late in the game, cannot be doing this. They've lost 15 yards due to holding calls. They're on the 5. They need the 31. Second and a mile. Callahan looking deep again. Incomplete. Once again, Asari blanketing Zach Jarvis.
That's 3rd and a mile. 25 yards to go for the first down. I imagine they try another go route or deep pass, but it's really not working out for them right now.
I think the first down marker might be all the way back at Collegiate's campus. 3rd and forever. Callahan buying time, runs out of it, dropped at the 1. Gavin Johnson. There's Gavin Johnson and Luke Pendlebury in there. And now if you're Collegiate, tough decision coming up. Push back to your own 2. But down 3 scores. I don't know if you can even afford to punt.
Yeah, I think if I'm calling for Collegiate, I'm just going to try and go for this because I think if you punt, you're kind of throwing away the game, barring really miraculous 4th quarter.
I mean, I think you're throwing away the game by going for it on a 4th and 30, because if you don't get this, then, and they do punt it, but not a good one. It'll bounce at the 35. Asari will let it roll. And the Collegiate punter needed to be careful. He just barely avoided the back of the end zone. And a safety there would have just killed Collegiate.
Yep. Saints now going to take possession at the Cougars' 38-yard line, it looks like. And that's good starting field position for them, obviously. And all around, very good situation. I imagine they just play real conservative at this point. No need to go for anything big.
And another personal foul. Now, the Saints will start their drive from the 47 on 1st and 10. Aiden White, he has a hole up the middle. Aiden White gains about 18 and has a fresh set of downs for the Saints. If Collegiate wants any chance at staying in this game, cannot allow points again.
Yeah, I mean, at this point in the game, Saints don't even really need plays like that. But, I mean, if they're going to get them, they're going to get them.
All they should really be concerned about right now is trying to burn some clock off. As Roberts will give it to White again. Fighting forward, only gains about a yard or so.
No gain there from the Saints.
Now the Saints doing exactly what I mentioned, letting some clock burn. Play clock down to 5. They get it off. It's Turley, and Turley with a solid gain. It's about 6 and makes it a much more manageable 2nd and 3, and some more tempers flaring at the end of the play. Is Collegiate just allowed to do whatever they want? Now a 3rd and 4 for the Saints. It's Turley and Cleland lined up in the backfield. Some motion at the line of scrimmage. They give it to Turley, and he is going to be close. I believe he has it.
Just short. About.
Wow. Nope.
No, they're going to give it
They'll
to
move
him.
the chains. Yeah, I was about to say. We've seen some harsh spots this game, but that one would have been too much if they didn't give it the first. He looked about a yard past the line to gain.
Yeah, and they're going to have the first down created. It's 25-yard line. 24-yard line.
Roberts hands it off. Aiden White. Solid gain. Gets about 4 or 5.
It's going to be 2nd and 7, 2nd and 6.
And White gets it again. This time, not as much. He'll be called down for forward progress. And perhaps some more good omens for the Saints coming into this game. The St. Catherine's volleyball team beat Collegiate earlier in the day.
And if Saints can close this one, and I imagine it will, be a very good day for Saints athletics.
Yeah, as we mentioned, cross country took home the Prep League championship. St. Catherine's volleyball beat Collegiate. Varsity soccer won their first playoff game 3-1. And now varsity football 4 minutes and 50 seconds away from closing out their rival and potentially clinching a bid in the Visa tournament. Now Roberts' pass over the middle is complete. Patrick Leckie on the reception and a pretty good gain and another first down.
Interesting to see a pass play this late into the game with this lead on this run-heavy offense, but they're going to convert, so nothing wrong with it.
I think your logic of being surprised to see it is exactly why they did it, as I'm sure Collegiate had the same reaction. I think probably everyone in the building, other than the Saints coaches, thought they were going to run it before that play. So now 1st and goal from the 9. 4:09 in the game. They'll hand it off. Turley up the middle. Gains 3. So on 1st down, gets a third of what he needed. Now Roberts gives it to Farley again, or excuse me, Turley, and he is down at the 1.
Some people thought it was a touchdown there, but I think the refs disagree on that.
I think it's very impressive, speaking of Michael Farley, that the Saints have been this strong offensively without one of their top guys in there since the first drive of the game.
Yeah, they have a lot of really talented players at the position. You look at Addison Goslin, Walker Turley, Aiden White now taking some good snaps out there. So they got really a lot of depth at that position, a lot of very different players.
The first touchdown of the game was the last time we've seen Turley. Only 5 minutes of play tonight, but the Saints still been great offensively. Here's Aiden White, and stood up near the goal line.
And still hitting on him. I feel like that should be called as a flag, but they're not going to. It's going to be 4th and 1. And I imagine they'll go for this because why not?
It's now 4th and goal from the 1. The Saints barely get it off, but timeouts come in beforehand. The Cougars wanted to talk things over, and we'll be back. Welcome back. 4th and 1 from the 1. The Saints looking to put this game away. They'll give it to Turley, and Walker Turley's in. Saints pouring it on. 31-8.
Saints just keep piling it on. It's another touchdown. Walker Turley, maybe it's getting 31-8. Extra point will make it 32-8.
Probably the easiest touchdown he'll ever find in his life as we take another look at it.
Yep, just simple play, just gonna walk in. And this is a very productive day for the Saints offense, which has been struggling as of late.
Yeah, they needed this.
Yeah, they absolutely needed a huge performance. Honestly, I think they needed more than just a win in this game to have a chance in the playoffs, because they really needed some momentum. That offense really struggling over the past 4 or 5 games. So this is exactly what they needed heading into the playoffs so they can get a spot.
Other than the Fork Union game, they haven't really had a standout offensive performance in over a month. I mean, if you think about their 4 losses, against Benedictine, they scored 7. Trinity, they only scored 10, I believe. North Cross, they scored 6. And Woodbury, they were shut out. They needed a big performance like this offensively to end the season. And with this win, chances are they will be dancing next week. It'll be a tough test as they'll likely come in as the 4 seed, but a chance is better than nothing.
Absolutely. Obviously, they get eliminated at all. That will be not very enjoyable to say the least, but it feels much better if you're given a chance than just be left out entirely.
1:35 to go in this game. Sterling on kick it away. And a short kick from Sterling. Will be fielded at about the 32. Turley trying to rip the ball out. Slams him to the ground. And before this final drive of the game, I just want to go through the list of all the seniors playing their final game on Knowles Field tonight. They gave a lot of effort into this program, and wins like these would not be possible without them. Deacon Begley, Jaden Brown, Isaac Lapika, Zach Davila, Wally Jones, Hank Dykeshorn, Gavin Johnson, Harrison Fuller, Addison Goslin, Carson Brown, Jack Seal, Gilly Cardona, and Christian Rogers.
A lot of huge names on there. Been having a great impact, all of them, on the in this game so far. I should say this game, as it's almost over.
Less than 90 seconds to go before the Saints wrap up another win over Collegiate, as Callahan, buying time, throws it to no one. In 83 seconds, the class of 2025 is going to become the 2nd class in St. Christopher's history to never lose to Collegiate in football.
Must feel good for them. I mean, that's
absolutely
big rivalry.
These two teams do not like each other at all. All the festivities coming into this game, whether it's Spirit Week, the pep rally, or the homecoming dance tomorrow, this team will be walking out happy tonight. Zay Davis in motion. Callahan under pressure, gets away. Callahan, now he's dropped.
Just gonna rub salt in the wound with that one.
It was Elijah, sorry. And things just not improving for the Cougars at all. This offense has had nothing all night. The offense has not scored a point. 2 of the points came from a safety forced by the defense. The other 6 were off of a punt blocked in return for a touchdown. The Saints defense has played lights out tonight, and I don't think you could have asked for a better performance by the St. Christopher's team going into the playoffs.
Yeah, this is exactly what they needed, and they're not slowing down either. They're just going to keep playing their best. Not really just going to let them do anything. Just really looking to make a statement.
Now a timeout by the Cougars. We'll be back. Now a 3rd and long for the Cougars. They'll hand it off, and that's going nowhere. Carson Brown lays a big hit. And we'll see if that is the last play of the night.
Yeah, Cougars do not look intent on lining up and trying it one more play.
Likely would be the last play of their season, but they're not going to run it. The Saints blow out Collegiate on senior night, 32-8 your final. And a great game. I'm Edison Palumbi alongside Hill Butler for STC TV. Before we wrap this up, I want to thank all these seniors one more time. Deacon Begley, Jaden Brown, Isaac Lapika, Zach Davila, Wally Jones, Hank Dykeshorn, Harrison Fuller, Addison Goslin, Carson Brown, Jack Seal, Gilly Cardona, and Christian Rogers. Once again, I'm Edison Palumbi alongside Hill Butler for STC TV. We thank you all for tuning in. Saints win over Collegiate